With the next dungeon being set to release in a little over a month, it is now more important than ever to become a high level player. And in this video, I'm going to be giving you the best tips and tricks to progressing as fast as humanly possible. Now I'm going to be giving the more important tips a little bit later in the video, but firstly, it's very important to understand that there are currently 17 dungeons in the game, ranging from Desert Temple all the way to Yokai Peak. Now why this is important is because as you kind of play through this game, you'll notice that at first the progression will be very fast, but as you get into the later dungeons, the leveling will start to get slow. Especially at the final 3 dungeons, it will get extremely tedious. And this is the reason why I think a lot of people end up quitting this game, but trust me, it is not too hard if you stick with it. Now I'm on a beginner account to showcase my first tip, which is XP boost. Now of all the boosts in the game, the XP boosts are going to be the most important ones that you can get. And yeah, you can buy them for Robux, but there are a lot of ways to get them for free. Now, the first way you can get free XP boosts is by going into the left corner of your screen and clicking on this icon which says free boosts. Now, simply by favoriting the game, you will get a free hour of XP boost. Now, that's a short-term option, but a pretty consistent way to always be getting XP boost is to be constantly logging into the game, because you'll notice that there will be like a little stand over here which tracks the current likes of the game, and for every 1,000 likes, they drop like a whole type of boost. And yeah, this happens very often, so if you're logging in a lot, you will be getting constant XP boosts. And the third method to, of course, getting free XP boosts is by going into your quest log and doing like these certain quests to claim XP boost. Yeah, there'll be like weekly quests and daily ones that you can get. And see, I got like a whole level up just by collecting that quest thing. Now I'm gonna get into the little bit more of the advanced tricks later in the video, but what I want you guys to understand is that all XP boosts are the same. The ones that you buy, the ones that you claim, they all increase your XP by 100%. And the timer tracks your time that you're playing in dungeons. Now, if there's one trick you can take from this video, then this next one would definitely be it. And that's gonna be this right here, which is the global party system. If you can learn to utilize this, then you will be getting 99% of your carries from that. So pretty much what this shows is every single dungeon in the game, and yeah, pretty much you will be able to find a party through any of the dungeons. Now I will mention that the higher level dungeons, especially in Nightmare, will have more carries. But yeah, what you're gonna want to do is find like a party that says like carrying or carrying for 3 rounds, because straight up all it is free carries. You can find a free carry for every single dungeon in the entire game. And yeah, I'm gonna be showing you a method to AFK farming this, and also another more reliable method. But for the most part, this is how you're gonna be getting most of your progression, through using the global party system. But the next tip I have for you is on the newly released boss raids. Well, it's not all that new, but it's definitely an important part to leveling up fast. Now, boss raids functions very similarly to regular dungeons, except that it's only level 100 plus. Now, for levels 100 to 200, there will be individual tiers that you can play. So whether you're in the low 100s or the higher hundreds, there will be a raid for everyone. But yeah, as you can see, there's one boss, and I have 3 lives. And upon killing him, I will get a bunch of items. But the more important thing is that if you're playing a boss raid of your tier, you will be getting a lot of XP. Yeah, I'm gonna say that boss raids is actually the fastest method towards leveling up. Now, the only downside to it is that you do get 3 daily challenges, so you can only play it 3 times per day. So this again is another reason to log in every day, because number 1, you'll be getting these free like XP boosts and different boosts that you can get, but also you'll be able to play your 3 daily challenges and get a whole ton of XP. So yeah, no matter what tier, always do your 3 daily challenges. Now, I talked before about the global party system, but another way you can actually find carries is with the Dungeon Quest Discord server with the newly released carry trade channel. I think this came out like a week ago, but this is a very great method towards getting carries, because pretty much you will find people who give like carry services to where you can give people either cosmetics or different like items, and they will just give you a bunch of free carries. Like this person will give 200 runs for a legendary cosmetic or 200 runs for a specific item. This is an extremely good deal if you think about progression. And yeah, if you don't have Discord, you can always just use discord.com. It's literally just a website, and I'll put the server link in the description of this video. So definitely use that, because if you're not able to find some parties in the global party system, that will be your second best method. But yeah, if one more method which will kind of show you how to AFK farm a little bit later in the video. But the next piece of advice I can give you is game pass, which are these right here. When you go into the passes section, you'll see that you're able to buy a bunch of different game passes in this game, with one of them being VIP membership, which gives you 20% more XP, a VIP tag, and a bunch of other things. Now, a lot of people argue that this is the most important game pass you can ever get, and I would partially agree, because 20% XP does not seem like an insane amount, but if you really think about all of the dungeons in the whole, 20% is a godsend. If you get this early on, you will be saving yourself hours upon hours of grinding. So I would highly recommend that if you want to level up really quickly, get this game pass. However, you do need to understand whether you actually like the game or not. Yeah, extra item is my personal favorite game pass, but it's not really related to leveling up fast, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. But another aspect to leveling up fast that I really want to talk about is item. Now, items and leveling up fast heavily relate to each other, because the better items you get, the faster you will level up. What do I mean by this? Well, whenever you drop like a legendary item or a rare purple collectible, you should really be putting that item into getting carries and leveling up more. I would highly recommend that you do not really keep any of the items that you get and you use them to progress as fast as possible. Because again, using the Dungeon Quest Discord server, you can get a lot of carries for the items that you get. And really in the grand scheme of things, like an old dungeon legendary won't be too valuable to you. Now, another point that I really wanted to bring up is dungeon events. Now, every once in a while, Dungeon Quest will do a huge event where they'll either add like a new thing to the game, maybe they'll have like a 2x XP boost for like a week or something. The most recent one I think was like a couple weeks ago. Pretty much how it would function is that you would be able to get like different currencies through completing dungeons, which you could actually go and use to buy like items from a shop, and they were entirely free, so you could buy things like cosmetics, and of course things like XP boosts. So by simply just playing the game during these events, you can get XP boosts through these different shops. And yeah, for the other example of like events, I think was like the 2 billion visits event, where they had implemented 2x gold gain in dungeons along with 2x XP gain and +1 loot item drop. So by playing a lot during these times, you will be making the most of the XP boost that it gives. And trust me, there will be a lot more events to come. Now, I'm going to go back to the point of global parties. I know this video is a little bit unorganized, but another hugely important thing about parties is that whenever you have friends that join the party, you will gain an extra 3% XP boost. So per every friend, you will get a +3 XP boost. This is probably one of the most important things you could do. You want to be playing with a lot of people that you have added on Roblox, so you can gain like just an insane amount of XP. So yeah, you are heavily incentivized to be playing with the party. So it goes without saying, do not play this game solo because you're not gonna level up fast. But to show you just how easy it is to get carries with the global party system, I'm gonna leave this party up, and while I talk about the next tricks, we'll see just how many people end up joining. Now, so far we've covered progression, XP boost, different game passes that you can get, and of course how to utilize the global party system. And one thing I mentioned is how important it actually is to be getting high level right now. Currently a new dungeon is in the works, and something that we've been waiting for almost a year. Now, of course, the new dungeon is gonna have like a level 210 plus requirement. Before those players that are higher level, you'll get to experience a new dungeon on release, which is my favorite part about playing this game, which is why it is very important to be leveling up fast, because we might not get a new dungeon for a very long time. And I also want to mention that the progression at the start will probably be boring all the way up until the very high dungeon. But yeah, in like the 1 minute that I talked, we already have 11 people. We already have like a level 200, a level 217, so this is going to be like a free carry. And I mentioned at the start that I'll be showing a method to how to AFK farm in this game. Well, this is the method, and it's probably like the easiest thing you can do. So as these players are kind of like going through the dungeon, you can kind of just like sit at the start and pretty much do nothing. A lot of people call this like leeching. Me personally, if there's one person doing the dungeon, what is the point of me being there? Like, you only need one person to do a dungeon. So yeah, I really don't see too much of like a moral issue with doing it, but trust me, this is how you're going to get most of your level. By just simply like AFK farming here, you will get a bunch of free carries. And yeah, if the party host wants you to like not be AFK, then I would say don't do it. You know, listen to the party host at the end of the day. But again, whenever I'm hosting parties, I have zero issue with people AFK. And you'll see once we get to the end of the dungeon that you don't even need like a macro, auto clicker, or anything. You can just literally stand still and get infinite carries. You won't get like disconnected. It is like the freest AFK farm ever because you literally don't need to do anything. Yeah, trust me, progression in this game like a few months ago was not nearly this easy. So yeah, whenever you beat the dungeon, you'll have the ability to click replay, but I'm not even gonna click that. I literally don't have to click anything. And yeah, you'll see that with me not even pressing anything, the dungeon will just automatically restart, to which you can just continue to AFK farm. But yeah, let's go back to the lobby so I can talk about my next trick. And that next tip is gonna be alt accounts. This right here is my noob to godly account, but it is currently at the highest dungeon. But regardless of what level your alt is, you want to make sure that you're having an alt if you can. Like for example, if you have like a spare phone or like a spare device, use that with an alt and try to get them as high level as possible. I think the biggest regret that you can have as a high level player is not having an alt, because once your alt gets to the highest dungeon, you will get 2 times the gear. Like they'll be able to go and do the 3 daily challenges and get a bunch of like the highest dungeon items. They'll be able to get their daily reward and will get so much more items. Yeah, I currently have like almost a god pot full purple set along with a legendary spell and a bunch of other things. And most of that came from my alts. And of course, just having an alt is going to be nice because you're going to get a lot more rare items, or at least increase your chances of doing so, which will again allow you to use this carry trade channel to get even more carries. So yeah, it's like a never-ending cycle if you're smart and know how to use it. But at the very beginning, I kind of talked about the mindset when playing this game, and that of course is an important thing. Progressing through this game is not easy. While it's not as hard as games like Blox Fruits or many other simulators, you will be spending a lot of time trying to progress in this game. And I'm gonna be fully honest, this game is kind of boring when you're trying to progress through it. Especially doing it with a team and just AFKing, it's not gonna be that fun. But trust me, in the end, once you get into these higher level dungeons, like Yokai Peak, you're gonna have a lot of fun playing through it. And especially when this next dungeon comes, you're gonna not regret spending the time to level up. And yeah, to kind of alleviate some of the boredom that you'd have when playing this game, definitely do like other things in the background. Like I remember I was like watching a lot of like YouTube and stuff while progressing through this game. Yeah boys, I got another video on the screen for you guys, so definitely go check it out. And yeah, I know this video was kind of all over the place, but I hope that you at least learned something from this video. And for now, I'll see you guys later.